Happy Friday, literary homies, my author friends. I hope that you guys had a great week and that y'all ready for the weekend. And do not think just because it's the weekend that you don't need to be writing or promoting your book, because you do. Okay, so today I am sharing with you all one of my business goals for 2020 because I'm gonna need y'all to help a girl stay on track. So every year I like to set one major goal for my business, and I take that major goal and I slice them down into smaller goals and accomplish them throughout the year. I would recommend anybody take that approach because goal setting can be a little intimidating and it can be a little challenging, especially if you have a really, really big goal. And although it's exciting, you kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I can accomplish that. So that is something that I learned from one of my mentors is to just focus on one big goal, break it down into smaller goals, and then you will accomplish that major goal. So that is what I am doing with my business goal for chocolate readings. And that goal is to help 100 authors in 2020. Now, I have been in, this is my fourth year going into business. And over the last 3 years, I've helped over 100 authors in the capacity of editing, publishing, and coaching. However, I have not done 100 authors in one calendar year. So that is my goal, you guys, for chocolate reading. So I offer 5 main services in my business, which includes editing, ghostwriting, publishing assistance, brand development, and coaching. And so my goal is to help authors in those capacities. All authors are not on the same level, they're not in the same phase of their journey. However, I do meet you where you are. So, okay, what are these services and how do they apply to you and where you are on your author journey? Okay, so my ghostwriting service. So that basically means that you would hire me to write your story for you. Now, a lot of authors, they either don't feel confident in their writing skills or they don't necessarily want to relive the story to the point where they have to write it. And so they hire a ghostwriter, or maybe they just don't have time because they're out there being a boss. So they will hire a ghostwriter to help them tell their story. And so everyone does it differently. Me personally, I do my ghostwriting services interview style. And so what will happen is we will have a series of coaching sessions where they would be recorded, and then I would transcribe your story according to the outline that we create and the content that we agree that will go inside the main script, and then get to the editing and publishing and so on and so forth. So that is the ghostwriting service that I offer. Ghostwriting is actually how I started as, I guess you could say, an entrepreneur with, being a literary coach. That was the very first service that I actually was hired for. So I'm very, very confident in my ghostwriting services because, yeah, that person that I worked with, it really helped her to build her women's empowerment brand from writing that book and telling her story. So that is my personal process. Everyone does it differently. You will have to just do your research and get more information about that. The second service that I'm going to offer to help 100 authors this year is editing. Now, editing is definitely by far my, what I would say, my best selling service. I always have editing clients, like always. That is probably my easiest service for me to market and promote because a lot of people need editors before their manuscripts are published. And some people even need an editor just to help with their brand message or their blog or any type of service that includes creating content. They need a professional editor to go ahead and make sure that the content flows, it makes sense, it's error free, and all that good stuff. So that is the second service that I plan to continue to serve 100 authors in 2020. Okay, so with editing, there are actually a few different types of editing and editors. So there are 4 main phases to editing, which includes developmental, line by line, formatting, and proofreading. Now, not all editors offer all formats of editing. So you will have to do your research before you hire an editor to see what type of editing that they provide. And some companies offer all four and some don't. So in some cases, there are authors who've had to work with multiple editors so that they can make sure that their manuscript is completely edited. So my company, we do offer all four phases at a very affordable rate. So if you are in the phase of needing an editor or you're almost there and you want to just kind of see if my service is right for you, if we're a good fit, I'd be happy to have a consult with you in regards to that. So that would be my second service that I offer. I get a lot of referrals for editing. One of my new clients, he actually was referred from one of my old clients. He saw my old client's podcast and he's talking about his book that came out, and he's like, hey, like, who did you work with? And he referred me. So editing skills on popping. Okay, I'm very confident about my editing skills. So if you need a great editor at an affordable rate, go ahead and send me a message or book a call with me, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that service. So I will continue to do that in 2020. The third service that I will be offering to assist 100 authors is publishing assistance. Now, this will be a twofold service. I can either do it for you or I can teach you how to do it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I prefer to teach you how to do it. I am all about empowerment. I'm all about empowering women. I'm all about empowering authors. I really believe that as an author, because you're an entrepreneur, that you should take control over your project. Now, I do know this. It is a Publishing is a very tedious process. There's a lot of moving parts. And if you're new to it, it can be overwhelming. And of course, you're going to make some mistakes. I mean, you're new to it. You don't know the jargon. You don't know a lot of the processes, and it's foreign. So you will make some mistakes. However, you can avoid making a lot of the mistakes if you either hire somebody to do it for you or hire somebody to teach you how to do it. So my goal is to actually teach people how to do it more. I don't mind doing it. I do it frequently. Okay, so it's not a problem. However, I do prefer to teach authors, especially if you plan to publish multiple books. You should definitely know how to do it yourself. Save you some coins. So that is my third service that I'll be offering to help 100 authors either publish your book for you or teach you how to publish your own book. The fourth service that I'm going to offer to help 100 authors is brand development. Now, if you all have been following me for a while, you know I stay running my mouth about branding because I honestly know that branding is the magnet that is going to draw readers to your platform. And when you get them on your platform, you can promote your book. Did y'all see that sequence there? It's a sequence. You got to do the sequence. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching authors how to do that. Now, there are two aspects of branding. Okay, you have your brand aesthetics, which is the look, website, logo, colors, all of the visual components. And then you have your messaging. So that's your content, that's your blog post, that's your email marketing content, anything that is going to evoke some type of emotion. That is the messaging, and that is so important. And a lot of authors miss that. They either have the brand aesthetics, but they don't have their brand messaging on point, or they have their brand messaging on point, but their brand aesthetic is whack. So I do help authors with brand development, and that would be my second service that I am constantly selling and helping authors with. And I'm super confident with my branding for authors as well. I know for a fact that a lot of the clients and services that I have retrieved is because of my brand. That's the very first thing that a lot of people notice about chocolate readings. Anytime that I get a new consult, that is one of the first things that many of them say is, I've been following you for a while now and I love your brand. And my brand presence is how I have been able to get consistent clients, and even, as I shared on my Facebook page, a high profile client a couple of weeks ago. Again, because my brand aesthetic is and my brand message are in alignment, and I am consistent with that. And so I teach authors how to do that. So I do have a program called Build, Launch, and Engage. It is a 6-week group coaching program, and it's actually going to be launching on February 17th with phase 2. And we go into the nitty gritty on how to develop your brand, along with some other marketing and promotional strategies. But it does have, most of the program is focused on branding. Because again, as an author, if you do not have a strong brand presence, you're going to have a hard time consistently selling books. So I definitely do put a big emphasis on branding when I work with my clients. So if you are not someone who wants to do group coaching and you're like, you know what, I need just a little bit more of your time and I need a more structured and personalized plan of action, I do still have that program available for one-to-one as well. So that would be the fourth way that I'm going to help 100 authors in 2020. And the last way, my fifth way that I'm going to help 100 authors in 2020 is by coaching. Coaching, one-on-one coaching. So this is what I've discovered. There are different goals for every author. Not every author want to be a speaker. Not every author want to coach. Not every author wants to have a group coaching program. Some of them want different aspects and they need different services and tools to help them get to the next level. And so I have a coaching program called Authorpreneur 101, which is a tailor-made program for you. Whatever goals that you want to achieve as an author, that is what we will work on over that 4-week course. And so what happens is I get a better understanding of who you are as an author, who your ideal client is, and what your goal is. And then we create a very structured plan so that you can accomplish whatever that goal or goals are. So I'm actually excited about that program. I just actually wrote somebody in that program a couple of weeks ago. And in our first coaching session, it was really, really good. And we focused on social media. And, you know, there were a lot of things about promoting her author platform on social media that she was not aware of. So I was so excited about that session. Again, I love teaching authors how to actually succeed at this journey. It is a lot. It's a lot of steps. You have to invest time, money, and energy into being an author. And that's what all of the other successful authors that you see out on the platforms doing their thing, making moves, these are the things that they're doing. And so I show you the nitty gritty steps on how to make that happen, of course, without breaking the bank. So I am so excited, you all, about 2020 and what is in store for Chocolate Readings. And I am looking forward to helping you, or maybe you know someone who wants to become an author and they are looking for someone who would be professional, who will be patient, as well as teach them how to be profitable with their author platform. Go ahead and refer them to your girl, because you know I'm going to have them covered. So I'm super excited about Chocolate Readings and the direction that it's going. And I'm going to go ahead and leave my booking information in the description. It's in my bio. It's in the comment section. I don't know what platform you're watching this on, so I'm going to cover all bases. Go ahead and click that link so you can book a chat to see if I would be the perfect person to help you on your author journey. Now, everybody is not for everybody, okay? So I like to have consults before we move forward in any aspect, just to see if we vibe and see if I can actually service you. You may need something that is not a part of the services that I offer, but I am very resourceful and I can point you to the right direction. So that is what I have for you all today. 5 ways that I'm going to be helping 100 authors in 2020. And if you need one of those services, go ahead and book a call with me to see how I can assist you on your author journey. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.